may prevail within this holy place. May our fear and discord leave without a trace, then peace may prevail within this holy place. May our fear and discord leave without a trace, then peace may prevail within this holy place. May our fear and discord leave without a trace, then peace may prevail within this holy place. Our fear and discord leave without a trace, then peace may prevail within this holy place. Now I walk in beauty. Beauty is before me. Beauty is behind me, above and below me. Now I walk in beauty. Beauty is before me. Beauty is behind me, above and below me. Now I walk in beauty. 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 Above and below me, above and below me, above and below me, above and below me. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing number 346 in our gray hymnals. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream remain standing and join me in the words of our covenant found on our screen. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its call. Let this be our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Whoever you are, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your life journey, you are welcome here. Wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are on your life journey, you are welcome here. I am Michael Leuchtenberger, and I get to serve as the settled minister of this caring, curious, and ever-evolving congregation. It is good to be here. Whoever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are on your life journey, you are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Please be seated.
Welcome to worship. So good to be with you this morning in person and online. My name is Dory LeCount, and I serve as the Family Engagement Coordinator for this music-loving, children-embracing congregation. We are here to support each other on our own and our shared journeys, centered in love, compassion, curiosity, courage, and joy. I'm especially happy to welcome first-time and returning visitors. If you are a visitor, we hope that you will find us a community eager to welcome you and respectful of the path that has brought you here this morning. Anyone wearing a colorful floral stole is glad to answer any questions you may have. There is written info in the pew folders and at the visitors table for you to take. For our online participants, it would be wonderful if you introduced yourself on the chat so we know you are here with us. Our church buildings are located on the traditional homelands of the Pennacook Abenaki peoples, past and present. We acknowledge with honor and gratitude the land and the people who have stewarded it for generations.
For a complete listing of church events and news, please check out our weekly e-bulletin or copy of Parish Notes, our monthly newsletter. Here are a few highlights. Our offerings right after the service include a sermon dialogue at 11:30. Join me there in the parlor for a facilitated conversation about today's sermon topic. Then our contemplative practice group will be led by Betsy Black in the chapel for a Mount Washington meditation. Where's Betsy? Hold on. Over. Oh, there you are. Okay, I knew it. Here we go. And there you go, Mount Washington meditation. And then, of course, our Anxious Generation book discussion group continues to explore that book in the Ken Thomas room with Karen Cox. Our children's program includes, for kids ages 5 and up, our Young Explorer program, and younger kids are welcome to stay in our Rainbow Room nursery. Then at 12:30, all are welcome to join in our free community luncheon in Fellowship Hall. And at 1:15-ish or so, join me for our Costa Rica trip info session in the parlor or on Zoom. If you're interested in going to Costa Rica in March with some fellow congregants, come and hear about the details. Be ready to write a check. Drum circle tonight at 7 p.m. in the sanctuary right here. Drum circle will practice a little bit for next Sunday, because next Sunday the drum circle will actually be part of the service. So that's a treat for all of us, most of us anyway. Tuesday, all are welcome to join our weekly welcome table dinner at 6, a free conversation-rich meal of plant-based, low-packaging food with gluten-free options. The next day, Wednesday at 6:30, The Power of Myth in the parlor or on Zoom, led by Renee West and Susan Casey. Then our annual Thanksgiving feast is already coming up on Saturday, November 22nd, the Saturday before Thanksgiving. Get your tickets, sign up to bring a dish and or help set up and break down the event. $10 for adults, $3 for children. If money is an issue, just talk to me. Each week, we light our chalice to set this time apart and to mark it as sacred. If you're at home and you have a candle or chalice ready, I invite you to light it now as Annalise lights our chalice in the sanctuary. Rise up, by thy light glowing, show to us beauty, vision, and joy. Rise up, O flame, rise up, O flame, by thy light's beauty, vision, and joy. Vision and joy. What we need is a perfect, simple song by Episcopalian priest Reverend Amy McCreath. Its 5 words are the closing sentence of a Wendell Berry poem, The Wild Geese, which inspired Amy to write this tune. The choir is finding their own unwritten harmonies, so you're hearing a world premiere that will never be presented like this again. It's also in surround sound, as you will see.
Please repeat after me. It is a blessing to be.
It is a blessing to be.
It is a blessing to be here.
It is a blessing to be here.
It is a blessing to be here now.
It is a blessing to be here now.
It is a blessing to be here now together.
It is a blessing to be here now together. In the weeks after the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, the hallways were heavy with grief. Students returned to classrooms that no longer felt familiar. Teachers carried invisible weights. Parents walked with quiet fear. The whole community was trying to take its next breath. And into that painful silence came dogs, dozens of them, golden retrievers, Labradors, mutts with soft eyes, brought by volunteer organizations from around the country. Handlers drove or flew for hours just to be present in the hallways, the counseling centers, the sidewalks outside the school. They arrived not with answers, not with explanations, but with gentle bodies and steady hearts. One dog in particular, a golden retriever named Jacob, became a kind of quiet celebrity. He was trained as a comfort dog and had already served in other communities touched by tragedy. When Jacob walked into the school for the first time, students reached for him almost instinctively, some kneeling on the floor beside him, some burying their faces in his fur, others simply resting a hand on his back, as if anchoring themselves to something solid. Jacob didn't try to fix anything. He didn't offer words. All he did was stay, calmly, faithfully, without judgment. And strangely, beautifully, that was enough. Guidance counselors said that students who hadn't spoken in days began to talk while petting him. Teachers who had held themselves together for their students finally let tears fall. Parents in their grief knelt down beside him and found a moment of breath. Some students came to school only on the days they knew Jacob or one of their other therapy dogs would be there. Over time, something remarkable happened. The school decided to adopt comfort dogs permanently. 2 puppies, River and Logan, were welcomed as full members of the MSD school staff. They became companions, emotional first responders, and living symbols of comfort. One student said, "When I hug them, it's the first moment I feel safe." Another said, "They remind us we are still loved." And that's the heart of it. These helpers didn't make the pain disappear, but they helped carry it. They softened the edges. They made room for breath, for tears, for the first small steps towards healing. The therapy dogs of Parkland and the people who brought them stepped into a broken place with gentleness. And sometimes gentleness is its own kind of courage. Sometimes healing begins with the quiet presence of someone or some creature who simply refuses to leave you alone in your grief. When we look for the helpers, we find them not only in the moment of crisis, but in the long days that follow, when healing happens slowly, softly, one comforting presence at a time. Our next hymn, "Come With Me," was inspired by the horrific series of mass shootings, especially of schools, that bedevil society, and also by the extreme polarization that has tended to make citizens of the same country act like enemies towards one another. It is a song intended to heal these divisions and give us courage in the face of the long struggle for a better society. It is a hymn found in our new online hymnal, Sing Out Love. So please rise in body or spirit as we sing Come With Me by Penny Blake. When it's dark like a candle for kindness, when it's dark like a candle with love, when it's dark like a candle and for you light a candle, its light will see us through. Come with me, let's shine the light, for in our hands lies hope tonight. Come with me, a land of hope is very near. We have spent many days, many hours, fearing those that would tear us apart. Light a candle and counter the hate and the fear, and with courage we'll face the day anew. Come with me, let's shine the light, for in our hands lies hope tonight. Come with me, the path is clear, a land of peace is very near. Come with me, let's shine the light, for in our hands lies hope tonight. Come with me, the path is clear, a land of love is very near. Please be seated. Unless, of course, you are young in age and would like to come forward for time for all ages. Also, anyone young at heart, come on forward. Sit up front here as Dory shares a special story with us, naming our helpers. Come on forward.
Good morning, everyone. Michael just told us a beautiful story about Jacob and the rest of the dogs. That I wasn't expecting that, and that was really beautiful. And in that story, Jacob and the handlers and the people that reached out to that community to bring the dogs and to sit in silence were the helpers. And today we're talking about who are the people that we can turn to, and why are we turning to people that are helping others, that are doing good work for the community, that in times of sorrow and tragedy and fear are bringing light. When you leave the sanctuary today and walk down the hallway, outside the LFE office, you'll see that there's a sun on a bulletin board. And today we are going to name the helpers that we have in our community, and I will add them to the rays of the sun. And we will have those posted up for the foreseeable future for you to add to and for you to see the names of those in your community that are the helpers. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to think about people that you know in this community or in your lives that are helpers, that are doing good work even when it's hard, that are bringing love even when it's scary. And I have a microphone, and I will come around. And if you would like to say the name of a helper, Amir will write them down so that I can then take them and put them on our sun in the bulletin board.
I'll do my best with the spelling.
Yeah. Okay. If you have the name of a helper that you would like to share with our community, please raise your hand. You have. who had their hand raised over here.
Martha May Emerson.
Some hand up here.
Kathleen Stein.
Can you pass this?
Irene Hanslin.
I can't name two, huh? Okay. Donna Moore and Susan Casey.
Fran Philippi.
Betsy Black. Michael Leuchtenberger.
We'll do two more.
David Canfield.
Fran Philippi.
Thank you all. We will write all of these names and put them up on that bulletin board, and then we will have extra rays of sunshine and markers available. If you didn't get to say someone, if you have someone in mind, please add them, okay? These are the people that are bringing light to our community and to the world in hard times. So thank you all.
Right, so up front here, if you can stand so we can sing our children's blessing and do the movements that embody its spirit, its message. May our minds be open to learning. May our lips bring truth into the world. May our hearts know love and our hands do the work of justice as we go our way in peace. As we go our way in peace. May our minds be open to We now turn to the joys and the sorrows we carry individually and as a community. Will you take a breath with me? As we surrender to this moment, let us notice our body resting, grounded, supported by the earth. As the piano begins to play, you're invited to come forward, light a candle or place a stone at the table to your right, or add a note to the Holding Our Grief wheel. And if you wish, come to the microphone, tell us your name, and share briefly from your heart so the congregation can hold you in love.
My name is Curtis Rude, and I'd like to share both a joy and a sorrow. Last Sunday, Suzanne and I were able to travel to Watertown, New York to attend my younger brother David's wedding reception. Several weeks before that, he and his longtime girlfriend Pam got married. But the primary reason why they chose to get married is he recently was diagnosed with peritoneal mesothelioma.
A recent moment of both joy and sorrow. My son, kind of out of the blue, said, "Can I invite myself to dinner?" About 3 weeks ago. And as always, I make priority for my children. So during the dinner, he revealed that he had just been diagnosed with MS. So there were kind of these raw emotions that brought up. But watching and listening to how he was processing this was in many ways a very joyful experience. We all face all kinds of challenges in our lives, and as a mother, one of the things that we hope that we've done for our children is to prepare them for the adversity that's inevitable part of life and the suffering that's inevitable part of life. And the thing that I wanted to share that really touched me very deeply along with the whole experience was at one point he said, "Mom, I think this will bring our family closer together." And that's one of the powerful things about helpers and in times of adversity and just the power of each other and community.
I just cannot not share my joy of my grandson Ryder, who is now on the Notre Dame basketball team. And he played 2 games that were exhibition games. And I was there, and his brother was there, and his father was there. And we just hoped he'd play a couple of minutes, or maybe make one of his threes. Well, he ended up with 4 out of 5 threes and 15 points. And his next game was and today they play Ohio State. It's on a big sports channel, and it's on television. And I'm just full of joy for this grandson that's 14 inches taller than I am.
Wonderful. You might turn me into an Irish after all here. This is, yeah.
Deb and I are cousins, first cousins, and our fathers were brothers, full brothers, but they had a younger half-sister, Judy, who was very dear to both of us.
And this family's been through a lot. It's unbelievable. Several years ago, their oldest son fought brain cancer for quite a while, and he's doing well. A daughter in her mid-40s who is a cardiac pediatrician just was on a exercise bike one day, and she just keeled over and died, left a young son behind. And that was 1.5 years ago or so. We had a big celebration of life. And then we found out our aunt, who's not too far in age from us, had very bad heart, and she passed away about 3 months ago. In August, and her husband, who had severe Alzheimer's, just passed away. So they had so the 2 kids left in the family, adults, but they had a gathering for them yesterday. And it's like if there's a family that shouldn't have been hit hard, it was his family.
I now invite Judy to light one more candle on behalf of those who are not here with us or who chose to remain seated. We received an email from Elm letting us know that Kirk McDaniel's mother, Marty, has entered hospice. Our hearts are with you. I know I saw you, Kirk, back there. Whether your joys or sorrows have been named or remain in the silence of your heart, know that you are not alone. May we hold our earth in our hearts with joy in her nature, in awe of her majesty, power, and resilience, taking responsibility for the hurts that we have caused her. Will you take another breath with me? This week, we hold in love Ashley Fahey, Brett Roy, Sky Roy, and Kelly Moore. Please join me now in a musical meditation, a musical prayer, Loosen by Ellie Halpert. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Sing one again. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Go on. Holy breath and holy name, where you is. Same part again. Holy, holy breath and holy name, where you is. You stay unholy. We go with Loosen. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Switch parts. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Holy, loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Wandering around the Albuquerque airport terminal, after learning my flight had been delayed 4 hours, I heard an announcement. It's the beginning of Naomi Shihab Nye's short, it's not really a poem, it's a writing labeled Gate A4. She continued, if anyone in the vicinity, this was the announcement, if anyone in the vicinity of Gate A4 understands any Arabic, please come to the gate immediately. Well, one pauses these days. Gate A4 was my own gate. I went there. An older woman in full traditional Palestinian embroidered dress, just like my grandma wore, was crumpled to the floor, wailing. Help, said the flight attendant, flight agent. Talk to her. What is her problem? We told her the flight was going to be late, and she did this. I stooped to put my arm around the woman and spoke haltingly. Shadoa, shubid uk, abibti. Stani, sway, min fatlik, shubit siwi. The minute she heard any words she knew, However poorly used, she stopped crying. She thought the flight had been canceled entirely. She needed to be in El Paso for major medical treatment the next day. I said, "No, we're fine. You'll get there just a little later. Who is picking you up? Let's call him." So we called her son, and I spoke English with him. I told him I would stay with his mother till we got on the plane and ride next to her. She talked to him, and then we called her other sons just for the fun of it. Then we called my dad, and he and she spoke for a while in Arabic and found out, of course, they had 10 shared friends. Then I thought, just for the heck of it, why not call some Palestinian poets I know and let them chat with her? And this all sort of went on for about 2 hours. She was laughing a lot by then, telling of her life, patting my knee, answering questions. She had pulled a sack of homemade mamul cookies, little powdered sugar crumbly mounds stuffed with dates and nuts, from her bag, and was offering them to all the women at the gate. To my amazement, not a single woman declined one. It was like a sacrament. The traveler from Argentina, the mom from California, the lovely woman from Laredo, we were all covered with the same powdered sugar. And smiling, there is no better cookie. And then the airline broke out free apple juice from huge coolers, and 2 little girls from our flight ran around serving it. And they were covered with powdered sugar too. And I noticed my new best friend, by now we were holding hands, had a potted plant poking out of her bag, some medicinal thing with green furry leaves. Such an old country tradition. Always carry a plant, always stay rooted somewhere. Interesting, I didn't know that. And I looked around that gate of late and weary ones, and I thought, this is the world I want to live in. The shared world. Not a single person in that gate, once the crying of confusion stopped, seemed apprehensive about any other person. They took the cookies. I wanted to hug all of those other women too. This can still happen anywhere. Not everything is lost. When I introduced this song to the choir this morning, I said to them, it's like a marathon. You got to hold back a little bit more, and then eventually you run whatever you get to run and put in all your paces. And it reminded me of my first marathon that I ran in the year 2000. I had just moved to Minnesota. No kids born yet. I was playing soccer, sometimes 2 or 3 games a day. I was in good shape at that time, and so a friend of mine said, hey, you want to run a marathon? I said, sure, I'll run a marathon with you. But I sort of forgot to do the practice thing, but, nonetheless, as I said, I would often play 2 soccer games. That's 90 minutes plus 90 minutes. That's 3 hours. So, how much longer is a marathon? And sure enough, I actually managed to get through that first marathon okay, and I still had some steam at the end of the day. And so I thought, the next time I run a marathon, I'm going to really, push myself and see what I can do. Well, then I had Daniel, Kara had Daniel, and then Noah and I. That was a marathon in itself, his birthing, but that's a different story. And then Noah came out much quicker. So in 2004, in the fall, now 2 boys were born. My parents were visiting. It was my time to finally do my second marathon. And it was a very cold day, in the beginning. Good conditions for a long-distance race. But then the sun started to come out. I was feeling great. I was feeling good. Let's have a picture of me running there. Yeah, that's me. All right, Twin Cities Marathon is not like New York. It's not quite as big. But there's like 12, 13, 15,000 people out there sort of, running, and a whole lot of people cheering you on. So it was a beautiful day. And so I'm getting to, mile. How long is a marathon? 26.2. Yeah, this is somewhat important to the story. That's why I'm. Most people hit that wall at 19, right? And luckily, the people in Minnesota somehow decided to schedule the marathon. So right at mile 19, mile 20, you start going on this steady incline, up and up and up, from the Mississippi, up and up and up, until you get to what's called Summit Avenue. You know that, right, in St. Paul. So, I'm pushing, and I'm saying, I'm not making that mistake as last time. I'm not stopping at all these silly water break stations. What is that for? That's for those other people. So I'm finally getting to the finish line. I can see it, right? There's. Let's show that second picture there. Pull down the first one, and the second one, hopefully, will show up in a moment. There we go. That's right there. It's the cathedral up at the top. It's literally, this is 26 miles in. I am feeling great. I just have ignored all the water breaks. I am racing to the finish line. A personal best is about to happen here. And then I make it 0.1 more miles, and then this happens. Whoops, I lose all control of my feet, and I just slump to the ground, literally falling down. I have nothing left to support myself. It's hot by now, so all those electrolytes that I probably should have, used to replenish, I just didn't. But I was still, anyway, that was the story right there. Except the story actually made it all the way. Can you put up that next slide? Made it all the way to the headlines of the Star Tribute. I made the front page there. Michael Leuchtenberger needing a wheelchair at the end of his. So much for. Well, so the story is really less about me, or really it is about me trying to literally crawl myself to the finish line until the helpers showed up. Right, these 2 people on the side of me that suddenly decided, we're going to give this guy a lift because he's on the ground. He's got obviously problems, and and here we are. All right, you can take that off now. That's embarrassing. And then on November 15th, 2017, almost exactly 8 years ago, right? Yesterday, 8 years ago, 13 years after my race, I got an email And it read, "Hi, Michael. My name is Teddy Mikkel, I don't really actually know. We met at mile 26.1 of the 2004 Twin Cities Marathon. Turns out that the parents of a friend of mine snapped the attached picture. That was that third picture of me sort of, barely hanging on. Not knowing it was I in that photo. But when my friend saw the attached picture, he said, 'Hey, that's Teddy.' A few days later, he provided me with a copy. I'm the person on the far left," he says. "And I've kept the photo in my mouse pad," so he's had it on his mouse pad ever since 2004. "And just recently, a friend asked if I knew the other people in the picture. I said no. And he said, 'Well, his bib number is right there, so why don't you look him up?' Pull that up again, number 3 there. Please." Can you pull up number 3 again, one more time? There we go. So yeah, that bib number is right there, right? And the guy who I'm talking, Teddy, is the one on the left there. All right, thank you. Take it away again. "Well, I looked you up this afternoon," he writes, "and wanted to reach out to say hello. If you click on the following link and scroll down to Teddy Talk features Teddy Mikkel, you'll read a little bit more about me. Hope all is well in Concord." He'd found me online as the UU minister here, Teddy. 2 hours later, I wrote back, "Hi, Teddy, I'm so happy to hear from you. You don't know how many times I've thought about and talked about and even preached about those 2 anonymous angels who suddenly were there at the end of my race to carry me that last 0.1 mile of a mile. Thank you so much for reaching out and for allowing me to express my deep gratitude for what you did that day and the inspiration your action provided to try and find ways to pay it forward in my own ways." Do you recall how you made the decision that moment to sacrifice your own race time by slowing down to support me? Did you have second thoughts later? How was the experience overall? Are you still running any more marathons after the 2004 Twin City event? And how long have you been with the Ignatian Volunteer Corps? I'm surprised I wasn't aware of the organization so far. Thanks for sending the link. I'm impressed with the Ignatian Volunteer Corps' mission and love the practice reflection model the website describes. As you might have seen when you Googled me, I currently serve as the senior minister of a church here in Concord, New Hampshire. And social justice, along with service to the poor, the homeless, and refugees, is a core part of what we do in our ministry. Reflecting on that work makes the experience so much deeper and more meaningful. I wish we did that more consistently the way IGC appears to make it a part of the process. Thank you again for being in touch. I'm so happy you took the time to find me. If you are ever in Concord, New Hampshire, please let me know so I can take you out for a meal or coffee or cover your entry fee to a local race if you're still running. Best wishes, Michael. So the next day he responded, "Hi, Michael, thanks for responding." He put some other stuff in there. And then he said, "What I remember is entering the chute at the end of the race and noticing runners ahead of me darting to the sides, kind of like the parting of the Red Sea. I thought, what the heck is going on? As I approached, I saw you on the ground, crawling on your hands and knees. I felt pissed off for 2 reasons. First, my internal human instinct to judge others, compromised by about 3.5 hours of running, said, "Good Lord, look at this guy crawling on his hands and knees towards the finish line. Clearly he went out way too fast or didn't train hard enough and is just making a pitiful mess of himself." Well, he was right about that. And then I snapped back into who I am, and I felt rage, anger, and knew exactly what needed to be done. I felt furious that no one stopped to help you. I felt furious that people actually saw you crawling on your hands and knees and did nothing to help. Not to be judging others again, ... And maybe the good Lord simply created an opportunity for me to help. My finishing time never entered my mind. I just knew I needed to stop. And I remember stopping and bending down in front of you, extending my right hand out, looking you in the eyes. And then I might have said, "Get your bleepity bleep off the bleepity bleep ground." He actually wrote those bleepity bleeps things. We're going to the finish. We are going to finish this thing. Let's go. And then I remember you standing up, putting an arm around me, and I thought, oh, holy crap. I am 5'8" and 180 pounds. How about that? This dude feels like 6'2" and at 220. I was never 220, but anyway. And as soon as I thought about how you were a lot taller than I, the guy in the white coat stopped, and you put your other arm around him. We carried you across the finish line, and then that was it until our most recent email communications. I'll write more later regarding life's recent happenings. Teddy. A true helper, showing up at a moment when I had nothing left to give. Thank you, Teddy. I keep remembering those moments, hoping I will not miss my moment to stop running and instead pause to pick up whoever needs picking up, whether literally crawling on the pavement or just limping along in life at the end of their rope for whatever reason. Here's another story, again from a long-distance race. Some of you may remember the image. A man running through smoke and chaos at the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013. His name is Carlos Arredondo. He wasn't a doctor. He wasn't a first responder. He was just a man who had come to the race to honor his sons. One lost in Iraq, the other one lost to suicide. And when the explosions hit, he didn't run away. He ran towards the brokenness. He reached a gravely injured runner, Jeff Bauman, whose legs had been badly damaged. Carlos tore pieces of his own clothing to make tourniquets. He lifted Jeff into a wheelchair and raised him down the street, holding an artery closed with his bare hands. Later, Jeff said he lived because someone stepped forward in those first few seconds. Carlos didn't know Jeff. He didn't hesitate. He didn't ask permission. He simply saw suffering and responded. When we say look for the helpers, this is who we mean. The ones who move towards the hurt, the ones who hold life in trembling hands and refuse to let go. And when we witness such courage, something shifts inside us. We remember that even in the worst moments, goodness still runs towards the fire. And gratitude, simple, aching gratitude, becomes part of our healing. And here's a story from the same year, a story that you may not have heard, a story about a woman named Antoinette Tuff. It was August 2013, the first weeks of a new school year at McNair Discovery Learning Academy in Georgia, an elementary school just outside of Atlanta. Children were settling into classrooms. Teachers were finding their rhythm. It was a day like any other. And then a young man, troubled, armed with an assault rifle, and prepared for tragedy, walked into the school office. Antoinette Tuff, the school bookkeeper, was the first adult he encountered. He pointed the weapon toward her. He said he was ready to die. He said he might kill too. In that moment, Antoinette had no training for crisis management. She had no weapon. She had nothing but her voice and her humanity. But what she did with those things may have saved hundreds of lives. She began talking to him gently, steadily, with astonishing courage. She told him her name. She asked his. She said she understood what it felt like to be lost. She shared her own struggles, a divorce, financial hardship, days when she wanted to give up. She told him, we all go through something. And then she said something almost unimaginable. I love you, and I'm proud of you for wanting to live. Her words landed. The gunman began to soften. He put the weapons down. He surrendered. Not one child was hurt, not one teacher, not one staff member. Later, Antoinette said she drew on her faith, on the memory of her own pain, and on the conviction that every person, even a desperate young stranger holding a gun, still carries a kernel of goodness worth reaching for. Police officers and trauma experts said afterwards that her calm compassion likely prevented a massacre. One woman, one voice, one act of radical empathy. A helper, a healer, a reminder that sometimes the greatest courage is not found in force, but in presence. And when we hear her story, something in us steadies. We're reminded that even in the most terrifying moments, love can still speak. Compassion can still enter the room. And the world can be changed, not by fear, but by the quiet, fierce power of a single human heart. In our Time for All Ages, Dory asked us to name the helpers in our lives, in our community, moving towards the pain rather than backing away, embracing their role as a helper, whether they are aware of it or not. Who are the helpers that have inspired you, that have brought gratitude to your heart when despair threatened to take over, when you were crawling on the floor of life? You don't have to be a refugee to feel uplifted by the work of our UU Friends of Refugee Circles, of what they have been doing over the years, are still doing right now. You don't have to experience homelessness to feel a sense of gratitude for those creating a safe space for families and others who are currently without housing or even food. You don't have to be a social justice warrior to watch out for ICE agents arresting neighbors and friends on the street, in their homes, at their schools, at their place of employment. The First Amendment protects the rights of public citizens to film law enforcement. Know the number of the Rapid Response Network so they can arrive at the scene quickly. And if you don't know the number, ask me. We have business cards available that tell you what best to do. Have them in your wallet. Be a witness. Be a helper. Be an inspiration to others. May we be a blessing in our being. May we be a blessing right here. May we be a blessing right here, right now. May we be a blessing together, here and everywhere, now and in all the days to come. May that be so. Amen and Ashe. Thank you for your generous support of last week's outreach offering to support Liberty House, New Hampshire. Today's community plate will support Building Community in New Hampshire, BCNH, a nonprofit organization in Manchester that helps refugees and other immigrants navigate their way to safe, healthy, productive, and connected lives in New Hampshire. Since 2009, BCNH has remained an organization run by and for refugees. BCNH hires case managers who speak the language and understand the challenge because they came to the United States as refugees themselves. BCNH provides essential services required by diverse immigrant communities that help newcomers to understand and navigate the systems that are a part of everyday life. Our morning offering will now be gratefully received.
Go with grace.
May we be transformed by our giving. May the world be transformed by our gifts. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 21 in our gray hymnals, For the Beauty of the Earth. Into the world in peace. Honor one another. Listen with an open heart. Stay curious. Have courage. Be kind. Be grateful. Embrace the mystery. Welcome awe. And live always the way of love. And I invite you to extinguish your chalice at home. Is Annalise still here? Nope. Then I will ask Karen, as Karen extinguishes our chalice here in the sanctuary. Please join me in reading aloud the words on our screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of this faith we share, the warmth of community or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please join me now in singing our unison benediction. If you're comfortable joining hands or elbows, go ahead and reach out. And if not, reach out with your heart to all of us worshiping with you, knowing that you are not alone.
you.